Jerry Brown here with Jerry Brown Travels, and I am sending you a video that we made approximately a year ago. The question is it safe to live in Ajijic? We're getting a lot more people who want to move there, and we want to give you information on safety. There's a lot of levels of safety, and so I want you who haven't seen it before. I was on the answering questions today on Facebook and YouTube, and I seem to get a lot of requests. Is it safe? Is it safe? They want to move there. They want to see it. Is it safe? So I'm sending this video again. It's a rerun. If you've seen it already, then just skip over. This coming Thursday, we'll be having a video on visas in Mexico, and also the following Thursday, we'll have visas in Mexico too, temporary and then permanent. So stay tuned for this video. Leave your comments, and I will get back with you as soon as I can. And also, don't forget to subscribe. That's really important to us. If you could subscribe or sign up for Facebook, that will also assist us in providing more information to you, because then I know what you want. So let's move on to the video. Is it safe living in Mexico 2021? Jerry Brown here with Jerry Brown Travels.
Lori here.
Well, in this video, we're going to talk about safety. Is it safe living in Mexico? Is it safe? That's a big question. Well, safety is on a lot of different levels, and we're going to go into that. At the end of the video, I'm going to talk about what most people think about safety, crime, and that. Now, quality of life is very important. If we were going to advise anybody who wants to travel and live in another country, this video can be applied to those people. So here we're going to go into some of the ideas of what safety is all about. Sidewalks not safe for wheelchairs.
Talking about safety. Safety, it has so many things of the safety. But the safety to live in Ajijic, the sidewalk is not safety for the wheelchair people. For the people who cannot walk well, because we don't have a good sidewalk. But if you live in Chapala, that be safety, the sidewalk have a wheelchair access.
Yeah, and so here in Ajijic, about the sidewalks, it's interesting because they may have an access of a ramp off a sidewalk into the street for a wheelchair, but it's too narrow. A wheelchair won't even fit on it. That's right.
Yeah, I've been spraying my ankle twice too here, and then we fall down one, right middle of the street. Because the cobblestone is not very good for walking people, because the sidewalk is very narrow. You can't even put a wheelchair. You just walk single file. Sometimes it's not even, because when you get a driveway, you have a gap about this much from the, you have to have a step to walk down. That's very, unsafe for me.
What we highly recommend, and this is the emphasis on this video, is taking your time. Come down to an area that you want to live in and spend 6 months to a year here. And the idea will be you're going to collect information to get a quality lifestyle and a safe lifestyle. Choosing the right doctor for your health care. An example, you'll want to set up your doctors, your family practitioners, maybe a gynecologist, maybe a dermatologist, maybe a cardiologist, maybe an internal medicine doctor. And you'll be able to interview them, you'll be able to talk to them, you'll know where they're at. What you want to do is you want to set up and have your own doctor. As an example, I have a cardiologist, I have a dermatologist, I have a general practitioner. Lori has an internalist, doctor, general practitioner. And we go in, we see them periodically. This way, if we have an emergency, then we can pull out our card. We carry their cards with us 24 hours a day, And this way, if we're hurt on the road, we can just call them or have somebody call them, and they can meet us at the hospital or at the clinic. So that's an important thing. Know where the clinics are, the hospitals, the ambulance service, Red Cross. These are important. Also, in that regard, what you want to do too, by taking your time, you can look at other things. As an example, clinics, hospitals, ambulance services, Red Cross. You can get the information on that. You'll take all of the information on that. Right now, you don't need to use those, but you'll know where they're at. You'll carry that in your wallet, and you'll have the phone numbers for an emergency. That's going to give you a safer lifestyle because you're going to be able to, respond if there's an emergency. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is the drinking water safe here in Mexico? Yeah, so what happens down here in Mexico is that the water is not safe. Okay, you don't want to take the chance. So most houses, they have a water filtration system. And so it consists of 2 filters and a UV light. Well, you can be safe with that, generally speaking. What we do is we have that system, but you don't know about the plumbing, how old the plumbing is. And so what we've done is we've erred towards caution. We have that system when we take showers and everything. We're not worried about getting in our mouth because it's not contaminated like that. But we still get bottled water that we to drink and to cook with. And so it's different down here in Mexico. Let me show you a little video of what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Oh no, you run out of water. They run out of water. And that really becomes a hassle. And what you may have to do is you may have to have a water truck come in and fill your water tank. You want to move to Mexico? Okay, that's a good idea. But sometimes there are challenges. Like today, we've run out of water. And so let me show you the way our water system works here. First of all, the way the system works is we have 2 filters here. The water runs through these filters. Then they come up here to this UV light. Okay, all of this system is to purify the water. Then what it does, okay, so a bit primitive here. So underneath here is a water tank. Think of a well. So we have this heavy, heavy cover here. I need to take it off. Then down here is another cover. So I've got to unscrew this. Now down here, you see the water tank. So what I need to do now, I need to get a bucket, and now I need to get some water. So here, we need this to use for in the house. Now this water is not going to be purified, so we're not going to drink this water, but we can use it to flush the toilet as an example. What we'll do for the water we need to, let's say, wash dishes and rinse dishes and stuff like that, then we'll boil the water so it cleans it. But things like washing the floor, where we don't need purified water, we can use the water directly out of here. So what I need to do, put this bucket in the house and use it for things, again, that we don't need to cook. We've had the Ajijic run out of water. What if you get in an accident? Do you need an attorney down here? Do you call the police? If somebody dies.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
That's a big thing. Well, let me give you the answer to that. You don't call the police if somebody dies in your house. You call the mortuary or you call your doctor, because if you call the police, they're going to make out a report of a homicide and they're going to have to investigate it. So that's one tip. This is stuff you'll learn. Another one that you'll learn, if you get in an accident here in Mexico, you'll learn. If you get in an accident here in Mexico and there's blood, if you bang your head and there's blood, any type of blood, they're going to take both parties that have gotten the accident, You're going to go to the jail and you're going to go to the police department. And they're going to investigate it. You're going to bring in your insurance company that's going to represent you. Things like that. It's important to know here. Safety with your medication and pharmacies.
Okay, talking about the medicine, you have to find out what pharmacy you need to go see that. Pharmacy is kind of trick you too.
Yeah, and so it's interesting. Somebody will say, oh man, there's a pharmacy over here that has great prices. But when you go in there, you're used to taking 30 tablets, one a day, and you've ordered 30 tablets, and you go over there, oh yeah, the price is much cheaper, but you're only getting 10 tablets.
Yeah, that's right.
So
we learned that.
So you need to order 3 of them, but they add up more than if you went to the one of them that gave you 30 tablets.
Yeah.
And so those are little things that when you're here and you spend the time here and go slowly, that your quality of life will really increase. You'll spend a lot less money and it's going to be safer.
Yeah.
Another thing that's very important is housing, rentals, and that. So by coming into the area and spending 6 months investigating, now yes, you have to find a place to rent. So you come in and you find a place, but you only sign maybe a 6-month lease, or maybe you can get it month to month. And this gives you time to look around, talk to people on what you can expect in different neighborhoods. As an example, if you live in the village, and a lot of people like living in the village, it's very convenient to get to things, restaurants and buses and activities, very convenient. It's noisier there. So if noise is an issue with you, then you may not want to go to the village. But that's something, by being here, you can determine for yourself. Or you'll make a determination. You'll think, well, I'd like to live up high, more towards the mountains. Another one, you may say, I want to live right on the lake. And your budget's going to dictate where you're going to live also. You may come into this area and you may say, well, I want to live in this particular area. And you'll find it's much cheaper than you thought it was. Or on the other hand, you may find it's more expensive. So by being here, talking to people, you're going to understand where the values are. Buying a home in Mexico, what do you need to know? Another thing about, we suggest renting 6 months. If you decide you want to buy, then in that 6 months, then you can find out what a notario is, what type of a lawyer you're going to need to hire to take care of all the transitions of buying a home here. You have to pay cash. You're going to learn about stuff like that. So you may find a certain neighborhood floods during the rainy season. You'd never know that unless you were here long enough. And then again, by talking to people, you'll learn more information. That's going to give you a safer lifestyle because you're going to pick a neighborhood that's safe for you. Another example, if you decide to move to a gated community. The advantages of a gated community is that they're controlled, okay? In the village or outside of a gated community here in Mexico, there's no zoning. So you could have a great little place and you've rented it real cheap or you bought it real cheap, but next door, the next day, somebody comes in and they open up a mechanic shop or a carpenter and they're sewing because there's no zoning. In a gated community, you have restrictions. They can't come in. Well, the other thing, pros and cons, if you live in a gated community, most generally, you're going to be living with expats. You're going to be living with people that speak English. If you want to immerse yourself into the culture, then you would try and live in the other parts that are not dominated by expats. So take your time and look for what
type of housing you wanted.
Yeah, and what meets your needs.
Yeah. Now let's talking about the weather and quality of the lifestyle. Over here in Mexico, the house doesn't have air conditioner and doesn't have a heat either. So you have to do the experience about to living here. In the winter, could be cold down to 45 degrees. And then on the summer, could go up to 90 or 100. But we don't have air conditioner here. We don't have a heater here. So then you have to aware for that for your, your need.
Yeah, and as an example, when it gets cold here, see the houses are concrete and they'll hold that coldness in there. What we do, we get up in the morning and we turn our stove on in the kitchen, and I put pots on there, I fill up with water, and then they heat up for about an hour and it warms up our little area there. Mm-hmm. And in the summer months, which is April and May, that's the hottest time down here. So it can be up to 100 degrees. If those things are important to your health and you really need to be in a warmer climate, and then in the winter season, we're talking about 2.5 months at the max. Mm-hmm. Then in the summer months, we're talking about 2 months at the max there. The rest of the time, it's about 75 degrees. And so the weather is great when it's not those two extremes. But again, for quality of life, and do you feel that's safe for your health to not be able to have a heater going or not to be able to have an air conditioner, and if you really need those things. Mm-hmm. And we have been here 12 years. Yeah, I've been saying we've been here 13 years, and Lori corrected me the other day, said we've been here 12 years. That's
yeah,
right?
12
okay.
years.
12 years. So little by little, we learn all these little different things. So what you'll be able to check out, you'll be able to check out things like where's your best cellular company to use? Who has the best signal down here? You'll check out what type of taxis are available. Is there Uber down here? How can I get a bus to the airport? Or can I get a taxi to the airport? What if I want to go to Guadalajara? Can I take a bus? How do I do that? Or can I get a taxi to go there? These are things that you're going to learn. And by other people sharing their experience with you, you're going to look at things like maybe an optometrist. Where do you get your glasses? Where's the best one? People will give you their input on that also. There's a lot of different things that you're going to be able to check out by being here and taking your time. So it's just a different way of approach of safety, quality of life. Mm-hmm. You'll learn all the little ins and outs. You may want to say, well, do I need a Mexican driver's license? I plan on driving here. Do I need Mexican car insurance? Those are things that, again, there's just so many little things that you're going to be able to collect all the information and your quality of life and safety. You're going to feel safer wherever you are because you'll know that you have all of these things set up already. It's not going to happen. You're going to do a little at a time, and eventually you'll have all that information as you need it. Now, let's talk about crime in the sense of people are afraid of Mexico because of crime. Well, down here, most of the crime is petty crime. In other words, somebody will break in a house, they'll steal computers, they'll steal jewelry, they'll steal, little things around the house, okay? That does happen. It happens everywhere. And so it's no different here than maybe even in your own neighborhood. In talking about larger crimes like murders and like that, typically we don't have that at all here. And so in that regard, it is safe. On a day-to-day basis, we have never had a problem with anything to do with severe crime, anything like that. Us personally, we've never had our house broke into, but we take precautions. We lock the doors. We use a deadbolt system, a double deadbolt system to make sure everything is secure. We live in a gated community. That also makes it a little safer and secure because we have a guard that is here, and so they're watching out. But in general, with crime down here, I wouldn't worry about it. I really wouldn't worry about it, because you're going to find crime everywhere you go in the world, and you're going to hear about, towns that have a lot of crime. Detroit has tons of crime. New York does. LA, Philadelphia, etc., Paris, etc. No different than down here in Mexico. So if you watch yourself where you go, at your home, at a reasonable hour, if you're out carousing, and if you're hanging out with people that are, going to be smoking dope or, doing these type of things, hey, maybe you're going to get into trouble. If you're a real party person, then maybe you're going to get into trouble down here. So we don't do that, so we've never had a problem with that. But all in all, we basically feel that Mexico is safe. Wouldn't you say?
I would say it's safe, but you have to save yourself too.
Yeah.
Hey, if you don't subscribe yet, please subscribe. We need more help.
Oh, yeah.
The more subscribe is more good for us. It makes me feel good to make some video for you to see. Thumb up and comment.
And we got to ring the bell.
Yeah, ring the bell.
Ring the bell.
Ding, ding, ding,
Oh,
ding.
we don't bring it. Okay, notifications, ring the bell. You will get a free video every week. Okay, well, this has been Jerry Brown.
With Lori here.
With
Jerry Brown.
I think she means to say Jerry Brown Travels.
Yes.
That's what you mean, right?
My tongue wasn't go.
Okay. Oh, milligrams.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say, but I can't.
Yeah, no, you were thinking.
I'm thinking about it, but I can't think it.
Let me tell you guys what we have back here. This is something Lori and I do. Over here. So what we do, we look at areas that we want to travel in the world or whatever.
Yeah.
And we get a little picture of it and we put it on the wall here to give us a reminder on a day-to-day basis what we want to do. So on this wall we have, like you see, Bali up here. Well, we went to Bali this year, but it's still up there. I can take that down and replace it with something else.
But it still look cute. I don't want to take it down.
Okay, and so we have different New York, and we have Chicago, and we have Niagara Falls, and we have, those are all places that Lori hasn't been to. So these are reminders. And now over on this side of the wall here, we have more international travel. So we have Ecuador, we have Colombia, we have Chiapas, Mexico, and what's up there?
Fiji.
Fiji, yeah. So we are happy that things are getting settled down and that we'll be able to start to travel soon.
Mm-hmm.
For us, soon is probably going to be in about a year.
Yeah. We don't want to travel now. We want to, quarantine ourselves in our area.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, good.
Okay, see you next video.